may not be running around in the gym or on a field somewhere, but it is activity, and it is wonderful, wonderful activity. And we can gather here tonight and hear this concert. Would you bow for just an opening prayer here? Father, thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for this time that we have to rejoice in the gifts and talents of these individuals. Father, may they be touched as you touch them, that this concert becomes one of glorious praise. We just thank you for the opportunity to be here this night. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, how many of you, this is your first ALCS concert? Is there anybody here who have that? Oh, okay, yes. Very good, welcome. Now, how many of you, this might be your 8th year of concerts? There's a few more up there. Okay, very good. God bless you. Thank you for coming back. No, wait a minute, that didn't sound right. They have been tremendous times, I believe, over these last 8 years. And I say last 8 years because it kind of is a milestone here tonight. And if you haven't read or heard, Mrs. Risi will be moving on. And I want to point out the one who we can blame. No. Let me introduce somebody to you, because whether he wants it or not, I think what he has accomplished this day, and this is her husband, Dr. Risi, who just today finished his PhD.
Thank you.
So, they will be relocating. And that means God provides somebody new again. And that's who we wait for. But in the meantime, and I'm just going to take one more second here, because it has been 8 wonderful years of concerts and memories that Mrs. Risi has brought to us. I'm glad that I've had a part in that and being able to work with her at different times, and certainly have enjoyed so much your growing up as an educator and performer, which you already were before you came here, but your talents and such, we have been blessed. God bless you. So let's have a concert tonight and worship.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming here tonight. This is my last concert after 8 years of elementary programs and middle school and high school choir concerts and show choir events and solo and ensemble competitions, choir festivals, choir field trips, graduations, musicals. This is my last big performance with all of you, so it is bittersweet in many ways, but we are looking forward to a good time tonight. We're going to start off with the middle school choir and their festival competition songs. We went in March to the Wisconsin School Music Association Trailways Conference Festival in Williams Bay, and they competed with 3 songs and were judged by 3 different judges who unanimously across the board gave them the highest score that they could possibly receive, a category of 1 out of 5. It's like golf, you want to get low scores, yes. They did a very good job, and as part of this competition, or festival I should say, the students get to introduce the pieces. So we continued that tradition into some of our other songs as well. So please enjoy our first 3 selections from our festival.
My Lord Delivered Daniel is a traditional spiritual arranged by Roger Emerson. It begins with a slow, pensive question and breaks into a driving rock. Chorus, verse, and coda sections create general ABA form. The chorus lyrics ask a simple question of faith. If God delivered Daniel and other biblical characters from terrible fate, why does he not deliver everyone from hardship? The final verse declares that though we ask these questions of faith and don't always get our answers, we know that God has saved us and will not turn away from our deliverance.
Shenandoah is a well-known American folk song, though its origins and exact meaning remain uncertain. The Native American word Shenandoah means daughter of the stars. In Virginia, there is a river and valley named Shenandoah. Interpretations of the lyrics may vary, from the tale of sailors longing for the river and valley to the story of a Missouri river trader who has fallen in love with a Native American chief's daughter. Our arrangement is by Laura Farnell.
two-part voices is by Dave and Jean Perry.
The next half of the middle school portion we learned after the March date, so this is kind of our halfway point. I had a lot of requests for this song and that favorite song that students had from the radio and from their iPods, fun things. So I took all those suggestions into consideration and came up with the popular songs that you see on your program here. And the people who arranged them for this age voices, I think, did a pretty good job with these arrangements. That definitely factors into my choices. Not just is it a good song, does it have a good message, but does it fit for these students? And I think you will enjoy this set, and it does fit them very well. So we'll start our second set, our popular section.
Home, recorded by Philip Phillips, winner of the 11th season American Idol. This popular single has already been heard on several commercials and is an unofficial theme song for the 2012 Summer Olympics on NBC. You are sure to recognize the chorus. We hope you are blessed by the encouraging words of the verses.
As we roll down this unfamiliar road,
sing this next song, I would like to thank our accompanist, Mrs. Karen White, who has come with us to festivals and is joining us tonight, comes and practices with us on her own time during the week. So I would like to say a very special thank you to Mrs. Karen White.
Fireflies is a whimsical song with a sweet melody, thought to be about dreaming. Listen for the melody to be passed back and forth from the men to the ladies and harmonized differently by the various sections of voices throughout the song.
Recording artist Bruno Mars and two friends wrote this friendship lyric song, Count on Me, for his album, Doo-Wops and Hooligans. Bruno describes his music as songs that I strongly believe in its honesty with big melodies. Please enjoy Count on Me.
If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't
now we transition to our high school portion of the concert. This year I wanted to do something a little bit different for the high school. They've been with me a long time now, and we've gone to many festivals, and while I very much believe in festivals, it is something that you may do every other year and still maintain your WSMA membership. And there's so many other neat things that can be done, especially in a community like ours, Madison, which has many performing arts centers and lots of opportunities for them to go out and to perform. So I was aware of an opportunity that they took in March also. It was part of Music in Our Schools Month, which is March, and students, groups were invited down to the Capitol Rotunda to sing during the lunch hour of the Senate and the Congress and all that. So we took the opportunity to go and perform for the first time down at the Capitol Rotunda, which was a really great space. The walls and the marble and everything just gives a beautiful reverberating sound to voices, and got to sing for whoever was passing by. Some state congressmen got to hear us, which was great. People in the Capitol, there were a few protesters still, but hey, we got to bring them happiness and positivity, and I said that's what we're going to do, and we're going to bring positivity and praise with our music. So the first few songs, well, they're kind of interspersed actually. Some of the songs we're going to do are from that field trip, so some of you will get to hear them for the second time if you came with us that day. Thank you again to our chaperones. And we've also got some new songs that we've been working on, which are even more challenging and more difficult. So we are going to have some students introduce these songs to you, and please enjoy our second half of the concert.
When You Believe is an anthem from the movie Prince of Egypt, a 1998 DreamWorks film about Moses and God's deliverance of the Hebrew slaves. The Hebrew text is excerpted from The Song at the Sea, a passage from the book of Exodus, which recounts the story of the parting of the Red Sea. The English translation is as follows. I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. Who is like you, O Lord, among the celestial? Who is like you, majestic in holiness? In your love, you lead the people you redeemed. I will sing.
Praise Him, all is most likely a tale about two of Bonnie Prince Charlie's men, captured and left behind in Carlisle after the failed rising of 1745. One is to be executed, while the other set free. According to Celtic tradition, the condemned man's spirit would return to his homeland via the Low Road. His spirit will reach Scotland before his comrade gets home, but he'll never meet his true love again.
By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny brae, where the sun shines bright on the bowman, where me and me true love wherever wont to gae, on the bonny, bonny banks of the Clomman. Oh, he'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of the Clomman. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep sides of the Lowland, where deep in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and me true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of the Clomman. The weaver sings and the wildflower springs, and in sunshine the waters lie sleeping. But the broken heart will come a second spring again, and the world knows not how we are grieving.
This next song, Seasons of Love, we sang before, maybe I shouldn't say we, it was another class of students several years ago, maybe even 5. These students who sang this are now out of college and starting their own careers, so that happens after you've been here 8 years. They graduate, they get married, and some of them are even married and having babies now, so that's what happens over time. It's called Seasons of Love, and it was requested by some people in the senior class that we consider it again as somewhat of a senior class pick. And I do think it's very appropriate, so I went back in the files and pulled it out. And I think it is very apropos. It speaks of a year in the life. How do you measure it? Well, you should really measure it in love. Now, it comes from a musical called Rent, and if you've ever seen this musical either on stage or on film, you know that it's about a group of people in the 1980s in New York City who are searching. They're searching for meaning, they're searching for a reason, and they don't always make great choices or have good things going on in their lives. But this is what people do when they don't know the Lord. They search. But you know what? They can still discover that the truth is what lasts and what they need is love, and God is the source of love. Fun fact, this movie and this play is actually based on an opera by Puccini, which was written in the late 1800s. Jonathan Larson rewrote it to just be placed in a modern setting, 1980s New York City, as I said. So he didn't come up with the idea on his own. If you watch the movie and then you see the opera, several characters are the same. There's a character by the name of Mimi, that's the same. Of course, the opera in Italian, Mark is Marcello and things like that. So now you know a little bit more of trivia than you did before. But please enjoy Seasons of Love and several featured soloists.
Moments so dear, 500
engaged in my ring and took my music right away with this. That's what happens when you get married. You go, yes, okay. Okay, thank you very much. This next song is very exciting. It's the first time I have ever done a duet accompaniment with the choir. So we are featuring Mrs. Karen White, who you already met, and our new accompanist in the high school choir this semester, Miss Susie Kittle-Moore. She's been a delight to work with, and like, as I said, this is her first time with us, and she's been doing a great job. Can we please thank Miss Kittle-Moore? This is a fast-paced Spanish song, ritmo, rhythm, and the students are going to translate the Spanish lyrics for you.
Rhythm, clap your hands to the rhythm. Capably, clap your hands to the rhythm.
Sing in joyful chorus with love and hope. We will sing in rhythm. We will sing in chorus. We will sing in rhythm.
Lift your voices, lift your heart. With musical instruments, we will sing of freedom and love.
Make harmony. Let's go sing and play. All voices, all people, capably, with all voices, with instruments, with hope, and with rhythm. Clap your hands to the rhythm. Clap your hands with all the people, with all voices, with happiness, and with joy.
We will sing with joy, with love and hope. We will sing of peace, we will sing of love. We will sing with happiness and with joy. Rhythm.
So this is what you call a performing arts class. And when you have a performing arts class, you get what you call performers. And I like it. I love to have performers. All right, ritmo. This is very serious. The baton has come out. Okay.
Let's
ritmo. They not only had to practice their vocal parts, but their body percussion as well. Ritmo, that was fun. Well, this is a special time in our program when I want to pay special tribute to our seniors. Could I have our 8 seniors just come and stand? All right, I'm gonna look at them as I speak here. So this is a little bit of a diverse group of singers, some diverse interests and diverse levels of interest and talent, but they have all grown over the years in a huge, huge way. And it's a lot of fun to have a large senior class because they help lead the rest of the choir, and so they've been a delight to work with this year. Not all of them started out. Some of them have been with me since I think I started with these guys in 5th grade, I believe. And some of us have joined us along the way, and it's always a delight to see people who have just been walking through the halls and have the talent. Sometimes I know that they do, and sometimes I just don't because I don't know them well enough. But it's been a delight to see them come into my class and into similar classes and see their talent grow. You've seen a lot of them develop. You saw a lot of them in the musical this year with their own solos. Let's see. Joseph and Matt and Dylan having featured solos this year. Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Yes. And some people doing musicals and such for the first time. Courtney and Caitlin have been with me consistently. They have never missed a choir class, so that is very commendable. And yep, and Alex and Tim are just faithful, chugging along, holding down the bass line. You got to have strong foundation there. And Justine has also been with me for a very long time as well. A lot of honors choirs there. So I asked the students this year, I gave them the opportunity of nominating some students who they thought would be good candidates for the Outstanding Musician Award. And I took that into consideration and put my own thoughts with it too. And I just want you to know that every single one of you got a lot of compliments and supports from your peers, words of thanks for being brothers and sisters to them, especially when they were new, supporting them. And your friends have seen your growth and they've said, you know what, so-and-so is just, wow, they've just gotten so much better and developed in their talents. And I mean, a lot of you. So I want you to know that your friends back here, they support you, they admire you, and they know how talented you are. And we do too, and we love you. Job to pick just one person for the ALCS Outstanding Senior Musician Award. But I looked not only at improvement over the last couple of years, but consistency throughout the years, people who have gone the extra mile. The person I am choosing to honor specifically this year has done extra things such as solo ensemble and honors choirs and been in the musicals, and also been very faithful and consistent in class. You know, someone who has always had a good attitude, been able to focus very well, consistently gets assignments and those kinds of things done on time. You know, the little things that show that you deserve honor and that you carry responsibility well. So this year, if I could have my assistant bring up the award, yes. This person is going to get a plaque and their name on the wall plaque in the choir room. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Performing arts class later. Also, this person will be given a $500 scholarship check from the Fine Arts Booster Club at the end of the year. I believe it is at the awards ceremony that you will be honored with this check. So this year, our ALCS Outstanding Senior Musician goes to Justina Renzel. Very much. We have one more song we're going to share to you, with you. It's been a favorite of the students, and I think you will enjoy it as a finale from them.
Take Me to the Water is a contemporary gospel-style piece that incorporates quotes from 2 African-American spirituals, Down by the Riverside and Wade in the Water. Throughout the period of slavery, many of these religious folk melodies were composed and passed down by oral tradition, and the subject of water became a common theme. Not only was water viewed as a means of spiritual cleansing and purification, but it also served as a means of covering the scent of an escaping slave. Hence, slaves would often make references to water images in their songs, especially the Jordan River, in the hope that they would become free.
I just told them, as I am going to tell you now, that I am now going to sing for you before we leave tonight. the water if it doesn't on that one. One more time. Well, thank you very much. And now I feel nervous like my students before soloing on something. You're going to help me, right? Mr. Wright, then you're going to tell me my words. Yeah, right? Yeah. No, never forget. Positive self-talk. I won't forget that. So this is my friend, Mr. Curtis White, who's going to help me. I wanted to sing a bit of a farewell song for you tonight, and I was thinking about what I should do. This particular song that I've chosen is called Send Me a Song. And it's about sending a song of greeting and of love to someone who is parted from you. I first heard this song when I was coming home actually from the funeral of a family member who had passed on. And this is a little bit different situation tonight, but I believe it applies nonetheless. I got in that car to drive home after the funeral, and I was going to be by myself for a portion of the drive home, and I was very emotional, and I said, Lord, I need something. I cannot drive these 45 minutes to my home without just a quiet, empty car. I need something from you. And so I grabbed a CD that my sister had burned for me, put it in the player, and it was the first Celtic Woman recording. Perhaps you've seen the Celtic Women on PBS, and I've seen some of their videos. Very talented women from the Celtic Isles, and I mean, there it was on this CD that I had just had around with me for a long time and never listened to it. And this was perfect, and it ministered to me in a great way in that moment when I was mourning the loss of a family member. But I think I've been waiting, I should say, I've been waiting to share that song again at a time that I thought would be really appropriate. And I am just moving on, not passing on yet, but again, I feel it's very appropriate. And so I sing this song to you, to my students. I told them that, you know, sometimes we can be cranky, we can get on each other's nerves, but I have loved being here, and I have loved my students and loved all of you. And I just want you to know that I think our connection will continue because we've been a part of each other's lives for a period of time. So this is Send Me a Song. Don't make me cry. Take the wheel now and know that you're free. Turn your back on the land, face the sea. The wind now so wild and so strong. When you think of me, wave to me and send me a song. Don't look back when you reach the new shore. Don't forget what you're leaving me for. Don't forget when you're missing me so. Love must never hold tight, but let go. Oh, the nights will be long when I'm not in your arms, but I'll be in the song.
Mrs. Risi, and students, another fabulous concert. We have a two-part close to the evening. The first is a little more serious, and the second a little more fun. For some reason, I got the serious. So we'll begin, first of all, with prayer. And that's today. Father God, thank you for the gift of music. Thank you for the gift of Carmen Risi and the 8 years of excellence that we've had with her. The music, the lives that have been touched. We choose to thank you for that time and not to regret letting her go. We're thankful for who she is, for what she's imparted to our students, and we trust you with her future and for the person you have to follow. Lord, we know that every good gift comes from you, and you can be trusted with her future and the future of the music department at ALCS. So we want to say thanks and rejoice in what you have done and look forward to what you have yet in store. We pray this in Jesus' name. Now we need a little more animation for the second part to be able to send her away in a fitting tribute. And for that, Pastor Sarah, and with her role in the drama department, is going to bring this evening to a close. Pastor Sarah.
Yes, I get the fun part, although it's sad too. Well, you asked for a song. We're going to give you more than one. So if I could have the gentlemen who are going to be singing come up, please. Some of the students wanted to thank Mrs. Risi for all she's been to. Yes, please sit in the front or we make you move anyway. And so this first song is by a couple of the guys. Like we said, we have performers, so we give them time limits. 1 minute, Jacob, and I'm cutting you off. Okay.
So, as we said, we want to bless Mrs. Risi. And one thing about Mrs. Risi that you may not know is, well, she's fun and she's encouraging, but one other thing is, to us, she's beautiful. And the Apostle Peter said that unfading beauty is when one has a quiet and gentle spirit. And this God sees with much worth. And so we wanted to say thank you, Mrs. Risi, for not only showing us your beauty, but also showing us that through music and through other things, we can glorify the God, the author, and the beautiful author and creator of music. We wish to glorify him now, and we want to bless you by saying bye-bye to our beauty.
Sunshine is falling.
little more serious, but I know that it is exactly what's on every one of the students' hearts. If you didn't catch that originally the song the gentleman sang is called Bye Bye Birdie. It's from the musical Bye Bye Birdie. This song is from a musical called Wicked, and it's a song where two friends who have known each other for a long time are partying. And this song is called For Good. We are going to have one last song in a moment, so guys, you can come on up. But before we do that, I'd like to ask Tim Rockwell to come up on stage with me. Tim and I are a part of the Fine Arts Booster Club here at Abundant Life, and we wanted from the Fine Arts Booster Club, as well as from the students, to give Mrs. Risi a gift to remember ALCS, the students, and to thank her for all of the work she's done. Would you come up here with me? This is just a small token of our appreciation in a way that we knew how to say it. Sometimes there aren't words, but sometimes there are words that describe who you are. And so we have a gift for you that are many of the things we love about you, as well as many of the things that might remind you about ALCS. So we just want to give you this gift from the Fine Arts Booster Club, the students, and everyone to say thank you. And we hope that you will have a wonderful, happy, musical life. And we will miss you dearly. And Tim has a few words to say as well.
Mrs. Risi, to some of us, you'll always be Miss Fisher or Carmen. To me, you'll always be Miss Fish. On behalf of the Fine Arts Booster Club, I would just like to sincerely thank you. Thank you for being the best music and choir teacher that Abundant Life could have asked for. Thank you for being the best, thank you for always giving us your best and always expecting the best from us in return. Thank you for teaching with grace and patience and excellence. Thank you for not only your professional investment in this school, but also your personal investment in our lives. Thank you for always having a positive attitude. Your daily enthusiasm was unmatched. Thank you for just being you. If you at all have spent time around her, you'll understand that Carmen Risi is a true performer. God has just created her in a unique and special way as somebody who understands how to perform and understands how to teach students to perform. She comes from a talented musical family where not only is performance, but also education very important. Throughout her time with us, she has sang and performed in many of her own shows and continually made an effort to better herself in this industry. I have no doubt in my mind that ALCS and the Fine Arts Department as a whole is better off because of you, Mrs. Risi. On a personal note, thank you for being the one teacher that ever gave me detention. Because acting out in a performing arts class is just performing. So thank you for that. It was such an honor to accompany your choir for so many years and just be a part of your time here at Abundant Life. We have shared some really special experiences together, including but not limited to dividing and conquering vocal sectionals when I was in high school, a musical pit in Charlie Brown, learning the part of Captain Von Trapp, my senior recital, and just some fun and impacting conversations over the years. This is off script, but I remember one time I had graduated, and so the relationship changes a little bit. And I don't think she had met Rob yet. In fact, I'm certain she hadn't. And she was, maybe had gone on a date with somebody. I hope this is okay, I'm sure. I don't care. And she said, yeah, you know, I really need a guy who can sing and is musical. And I don't want like third and fourth dates to be like at the piano doing vocal lessons. So fast forward maybe a year or something, and she meets Rob. He's like, hey, Carmen. Hey, why don't you come over, I'll make you some pizza. And,
Tim.
maybe you can put some grease in my hair or something like that. Polish my gold chains. No.
Love you, Tim.
But, he has gold chains? Oh, okay.
I do.
But, I don't think Rob can sing. Is that right? Was that just between us?
No, it's public knowledge. It's public knowledge.
No, I'm totally kidding. But it was just fun to see her fall in love and get married and teach with a new passion and a new desire. It was really neat to be a part of that as well. You've meant a lot to my family. There should be no mistake that Carmen Risi is an accomplished teacher, musician, and performer. The fact is undeniable, but here's the key. She didn't teach for the sake of teaching. She didn't sing just for the sake of singing. And she certainly didn't perform for the sake of performing. No, it was always about something more. Mrs. Risi always made it a point to instill a heart of worship into the hundreds of students that she invested in. Worship is most simply and accurately described as anything that gives God glory. And when we, as God's handiwork, use our gifts and talents, it brings credit back to the Creator. When Mrs. Risi What she was really good at was helping her students dig deep and begin to unpack the things that God has put inside of them. She not only assisted in harvesting those gifts, but also in nurturing them. She made clear the connection that as artists and singers and actors and musicians, our responsibility is not to leave our talents buried into the ground, but to invest them into the kingdom and into the lives of others. As an alumni, what excites me most about Abundant Life Christian School these days is the culture of worship that has risen up. I see more and more students leading worship in chapel. I see more and more prayers after sports games. I see more songs being written to praise God, and I see a growing desire in our student body to give Him all the glory that is due. The reality is that most of your students won't go on to professional careers in the arts. Most won't sing in musicals or choirs or concerts, but we will all have the opportunity to live a life of worship. And Mrs. Risi, your lasting impact will be this. You have taught us what it looks like to use the gifts that we've been given to bring glory to our Father, who is ever worthy of our praise. So thank you. So with that, we have one final piece. I'd like to invite a few of the alumni to come up and sing to you a song that was in a musical that I had the privilege of being in, Sound of Music. It's So Long Farewell, and I don't think we will be as charming as the boys, as beautiful as the women, but we're sure going to try.
That's all we have left to say, but goodbye. Oh, you're going to come up now. Okay. I'll give you as many minutes as you want. Okay. We love you.
So, they mentioned my family. I do want to thank some people that are here. My parents are here. Mom and Dad, can you stand up, please? My mom and my dad. Yes. did come from a very musical family. My dad has been a band teacher for 36 years and is retiring this year. Very successful. 36 years from the Jefferson School District down 18. My mom has been a piano teacher, a music therapist, a kinder music teacher. So yes, I was raised in a very musical family. They made sure that I took piano lessons, made sure I didn't quit. And Tim, we know about that, right? We know how good that is. Yep, when your parents, they don't let you quit, even when you think you want to. You're forever grateful. I wouldn't be able to teach like I do without those skills that they made sure that I had. And we've performed together. All my brothers and sisters, we've sung together, played together, all of those things. But they also, raised me. So not just musically, but spiritually and personally, and gave me the grounding in life that I needed and that has helped make me who I am today. They introduced me to the Lord at a young age, which is huge. So I very much appreciate my parents. So thanks, Mom and Dad. When I first came to Abundant Life, I honestly, some people don't know this, but I didn't have any teaching education at all. Plenty of singing and performance. So the people that hired me and mentored me in the beginning were really key in my life. My co-workers, my teachers were very supportive. That was huge. This was a great environment to start in. But I have to thank the people who hired me and the people who mentored me. Mr. Zahner, Mr. Hagen, and Mrs. Ashland, who mentored me. In my first few years, they were instrumental in helping to form me into the teacher that I am today. To all of my coworkers, thank you very much. Mr. Butler has been there as a support from the beginning. My first year of teaching, some of you in the front row said to me, "Can we do a musical? Can we do a musical, please?" And I said, "Well, just wait until I've taught at least 1 year." And Pastor Sarah came to me about that time too, and she said, "Well, would you like to?" I'd like to. She wanted to make sure that theater arts came back to Abundant Life. And I said, "Well, I can do the music. I'm comfortable with that." And she's like, "Great, because I'll do the stage. I'm not comfortable with the music." So it's been a really perfect partnership, and I have to give a lot of credit to her support and for all that she's done for Abundant Life too. I know that the words that you've sung have been from your hearts, and I receive them very much so, and know that the feelings are reciprocal. And thank you very much for your love, and I know that it is sincere and it is returned to you. Please know that. So, thank you, everyone. And Sarah, I'll let you close. I guess, or that's it. Thank you. Big, big thank you.
I'm just going to close in prayer, and then I'm going to let you spend a really long time hugging people. Okay. Heavenly Father, we do once again thank you for this evening, for all that you are and have been to us and will continue to be. We do want to bring you glory for all of the gifts you have given us, the talents you have placed in us. And we also very much want to thank you for Mrs. Risi and her faithfulness to ALCS, to the students, and her love. And we will remember her with fondness. And as she said, I am sure we will continue to be in contact with her. And we thank you for tonight and all that tonight has been. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.